He's playing Brit.
I was so excited.
I was. Yeah, but also, this is like old Stingray. This is like every time Stingray does experiment a bunch, every now and then there's a part of my brain that goes like, yo, what if he went back to Bryn? Now we get to see what happens if he went back to Bryn first as we're getting into game number 1.
I do kind of respect it, though. Going up against Marckiemoo in this situation, you're this far in the tournament, maybe something a little more comfortable than the Reno. And we'll see what this Bryn can get done. We are starting out on Demon Island. And if the numbers say anything, this should be a very, very good set.
Yeah, I mean, according to the numbers, though, Marckiemoo is definitely, like you said, the favorite. Also, just like in raw PR and stats, he's generally just done better overall as a competitor. You kind of see that in the damage numbers as well. Right now, Stingray getting close to the red, sitting at 136 with Marckiemoo at 85. So, gonna take a couple more hits. Oh, nice double.
The recovery's not going to be quite enough, but did get the full extension off of that. Very nice from Stingray, reaching up with the gravity cancel D-Light, could not find it. Fadeaway Sair still coming up empty. Marckiemoo going to give him a little boot with the unarmed, finishing up with a break dance, pick the scythe up, and he's going to go to work on Stingray's second stock.
Yeah, you can kind of see Stingray ended up trapping himself a little bit. He switched over to the axe and then he was like, well, the only thing I can use to KO is side air. This time he's got the spear. He's going to go for the down sig, and he's going to stick with the spear. That's been his comfort weapon.
Kept things close and steady, did not let it get away from him, and he's going to work up in the air against Marckiemoo, playing those aerials. Stingray coming down, hitting another signature on him. Ooh, Sair the wrong way, no punish from Marckiemoo. Okay, sidelight was good, but could not get anything after that. Weapon throw to stop Marckiemoo. Okay, Marckiemoo right back. No follow-up, though. We're just getting the starters, but nothing to continue off of these strings. Oh, wow. Good dodge from Marckiemoo.
Yeah, a second ago, Stingray tried to go for the read based on what Marckiemoo had dodged after the first sidelight. He dodged down. Second time, Stingray tried to catch him with it with the second sidelight, but Marckiemoo changed up his dodge. So credit to Marckiemoo. He's making it very difficult for Stingray to get those extensions that he definitely wants.
Stingray giving him the respect on the side of stage. Marckiemoo going over the top with the Sair. Stingray bounces back, catches the D-Light, catches the recovery, and catches the stock. 111 damage on his second stock, though. He's still got a little bit of work to do.
Great positioning on Stingray's part. Really kind of forced Marckiemoo into a situation where he's like, do I want to land on the ground? Do I want to land in the air? Went for the aerial approach, and Stingray has such a good anti-air with that spear down light.
Absolutely. Oh, he didn't pull the pogo there, as we were talking about, but the Nair is going to go ahead and connect. Let's keep Marckiemoo guessing. Stingray's movement is crazy right now. Okay, Sair's going to go ahead and put a little more damage on Marckiemoo.
Oh, good wake up there. Jump down air, really stopping that recovery attempt from Marckiemoo.
Has he hit a single one of those yet, dude?
Yeah, the down sig?
Yeah.
He's hit like 2 out of 4, I want to say.
Okay.
Because on that second stock, he got 2 back-to-back where he was catching Marckiemoo's landings, which was really solid.
Okay. Back on that spear.
No, he's hit 3 because he KO'd the first stock with it. I remember things.
Do you remember things? I apparently do not. Stingray going to catch a landing on Marckiemoo. The Sair is going to whiff, though. Ooh, I thought the Nair was going to be okay, but Marckiemoo got the reversal there.
No, I think it's because Stingray went for a recovery instead of a Nair. Recovery ends up throwing out a little bit above him, but right now he's got a good position on Marckiemoo. Great damage built up. Not really in that KO percent, but if he opens up with a downlight, could lead to it.
Yeah, he could get there very, very quickly. Stingray, though, doing a great job staying out of harm's way. Catches the D-Light, another recovery, and it is enough to go ahead and knock out at the top of Demon Island. And a Stingray taking game number 1 against the one and only Marckiemoo.
Yeah, really good adaptation on the side of Stingray. He struggled a little bit at the beginning, but then he started to find his footing, really started to put Marckiemoo in these positions where Marckiemoo keeps trying to anti-air, keep trying to catch Stingray out of the air, and Stingray's like, again, I have Spear, one of the best anti-air tools out there, and gets those downlights into those recoveries.
I mean, I'm sure it goes into him being such a cerebral player, but he really does adapt so quick. He just is, in the one game, he's able to go ahead and pick apart the movement, pick apart what's going on, and secure the dub. And we're going to see if he can do it again here in game number 2. No legend swaps to be seen. See if Marckiemoo's Mordex is going to work out a little better for him.
Well, in the last game, Marckiemoo did lean on his scythe a little bit more. Pretty standard for the Mordex is out there. Had it for 62% in the last game, but was only able to put out 256 damage versus the 376 damage he took. So he did struggle a little bit in that damage dealing department.
For sure, for sure. Stingray coming off that soft platform. Marckiemoo going to catch him on the side of stage. So good keeping the distance with those spear Sairs, keeping Marckiemoo just out of range where he cannot react, but that is unfortunate for Stingray. Ran out of options, no way to make it back to stage, and we're going to be all tied up on second stock with a 90 damage differential.
Yeah, Marckiemoo did a really good job just adding up that damage really quick onto Stingray, and now Stingray trying to get to that weapon. You see him just trying to push forward, throwing out side lights, just hoping he can get some hits done out there, but he has yet to connect. Finally finds a hit onto Marckiemoo.
Does need to get rid of the stock with a quick. Oh, what a call out, bro. That was nasty. Marckiemoo gonna go ahead and extend the lead to 2 stocks because 1 wasn't enough.
Yeah, Stingray tried to be cheeky there with that kind of turnaround axe recovery, but Marckiemoo had the read on it, ended up punishing it, and then getting extra credit with that gravity cancel. Stingray is in trouble right now.
Yeah, Marckiemoo, we talked about the adaptation of Stingray in game number 1. Marckiemoo making it look easy here in game number 2. Stingray gonna catch a down sig. That one's gonna go ahead and knock out, and finally that first stock falling off of Marckiemoo. But Stingray already has 129 damage put against his final stock. This is looking not good.
Yeah, you can see Stingray went high there, was able to avoid that weapon toss. Ooh, gets caught by the downlight, but Marckiemoo not ready to react. Instead, just backs away after it. Recovery not going to be enough.
Oh my goodness, what is going to be Stingray's response to that?
I don't really know if he has time to respond, just because that was such a fast game.
Yes.
Where Marckiemoo just kept pushing, kept getting hits, kept getting Ws. And really, like, you can kind of see it in the numbers where Marckiemoo put out 477, but really it's like the damage per engagements. He got 39 damage per engagement, where Stingray got 22.
Yeah.
So Marckiemoo was getting a lot more per hit.
For sure, for sure. And you see it at the end result as Marckiemoo getting an easy dub there in game number 2. But we are all tied up into game number 3. Who is going to take that advantage state as we go into the next game? Stingray playing the Bryn again, weapon in hand, back on the spear, see what he can do.
Same map here with the Fortress of Lions. Didn't really come into play. Didn't see that soft platform really matter. Didn't see any stocks survive in weird ways or anything like that. It was really just like Marckiemoo winning.
Yeah, just Marckiemoo doing a lot of winning. But Stingray's doing a really good job here at the beginning of game number 3, kind of working that nair, just kind of being a little more patient here. Ooh.
Okay. Starting to utilize that range that he has with that spear. Goes for the double there. Marckiemoo not expecting it. I'm almost certain his dodge was up, but he just didn't do it in time. And Stingray able to get the first stock.
Yeah, the full extension off of that. Very nice, and has a nice, comfortable lead to start off game number 3. Ooh, couldn't catch it with a neutral light. Marckiemoo going to get some damage in. D-light into Sair is going to be good. Another Sair on his way back down. Stingray just picking away at the damage here. Down sig's going to hit. Marckiemoo fight back.
Dudes, I think this matchup right now of Stingray's spear versus Marckiemoo's gauntlets is almost very heavily in favor of Stingray. He's spacing out so well using those side airs, and then Marckiemoo tries to come up with the anti-air jump nair, and Stingray has downlight. He also is catching him with the down signature.
Yeah, definitely the scythe working out a lot better for Marckiemoo, but although we see these gauntlets start to shine here a little bit. Ooh, he missed. But does have the scythe in hand. The recovery is going to connect. Weapon throw way low, but the dare is going to be enough. Stingray, that was the last of his options, and at least the stock count's tied, Duke.
Yeah, but he's like 1 hit away from KO %. Stingray's got to come in. I don't think a downlight recovery would immediately do it, but this will.
Yeah,
that's going to be the KO, and that's a full stock advantage in favor of Stingray.
Man, he is, you know, I asked that question if he had hit any, and I think he's been about 100% since I called it out. I do apologize. I did not recognize your game, Stingray.
I love it because it's like he was the one who really pushed Orion's spear down signature, and he's basically like, okay, I can do that with the Bryn down signature. Great recovery.
Any other weapon, he was knocked out. Any other weapon, he was done. Okay. Stingray being very careful with the full stock advantage. Marckiemoo, oh, that downlight. Oh, that downlight hit. Marckiemoo still going to continue to rack that damage up. Ooh, missing on the side light. Stingray staying right over the top of the Sair is going to knock Marckiemoo back. No weapon to be found for Stingray. Marckiemoo has that power position. The recovery is going to take Stingray up. Axe back in hand. Here's something we haven't seen a whole lot of, Duke.
Great dodge on the part of Stingray, was managed to avoid that recovery. Another one will connect, and Marckiemoo has managed to close the gap that was built there. Now Stingray has to put out 86, or sorry, Marckiemoo has to put out 86 damage to even things up.
And if he stays on pace, that shouldn't be too hard for him. He's been looking very nice, especially since he's been back on the scythe. Another signature is going to go ahead and hit for Stingray. Marckiemoo getting the position on ground behind him. There we go, just tossing him back and forth across the stage here.
Falling there. He has Marckiemoo in that KO %. If he gets the right down zig read, could get the W here.
Ooh, Marckiemoo continuing to fight back, though. The down sig is going to be enough. Put Stingray up a 2-1 against Marckiemoo. He's looking fantastic.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision on Marckiemoo's part to swap over to the gauntlets, just because, like I've been saying, his gauntlets, yeah, they looked really good for one moment in that last game, but for the most part, it really feels like Stingray knows what to do against the gauntlets. And you talked about that signature accuracy. Down signature thrown out, 7 signatures thrown out, 71% accuracy. He was hitting those down signatures.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A whole 532 damage coming off that spear. He was putting in work with it. And, you know, we talked about Marckiemoo's gauntlets that game. That's because he did have 306 damage off of him, favoring those over the scythe, coming in at 149. But we are going to be settling into game number 4. Marckiemoo trying to keep his winner side dreams alive.
Yeah, I mean, this is the NA favorite, right? This is the guy who was on multiple people's predictions to be the one to win out this tournament.
Looking great. He still has not taken any damage. Stingray, you've got to swing that axe, brother. Marckiemoo still untouched. Ooh, 0 to knockout. 0 to knockout. Perfect stock. No.
Oh.
Stingray finding the opportunity to get rid of that axe, put that spear back in his hand, and try to go to work on this first stock on Marckiemoo.
I really love that chase dodge up on Stingray's part. Was hoping Marckiemoo was going to panic react after getting hit by that nair, but Marckiemoo did nothing, so Stingray ended up just falling afterwards. 31 damage was all Stingray was able to put out on that first stock.
That is not going to win games, especially this late in the tournament. Okay, Stingray continuing to hold on to the axe. I'm sure he's looking for the opportunity to get that spear back in his hand, but Marckiemoo doing a great job keeping him committed on the axe, not letting him get a weapon drop here. Another dare is going to connect. Stingray trying to get something in the air. The nair is going to whiff. Marckiemoo is going to try and play that fast and loose over on the side of the stage.
And he's playing the matchup really well right now. Marckiemoo is, because he's outspacing Stingray, and then he'll bait an action, then come in real close, which is what you want to do when you've got a close weapon like gauntlets.
But here we are. Stingray does have that spear. Ooh, Marckiemoo the wrong direction. Gonna get the recovery, coming back underneath, shutting him down with the nair into a Sair. Can he catch him? The dare is gonna be good. Marckiemoo, no, he had the Sair up his sleeve, got back on stage just to be knocked out.
Downlight side air on Stingray's part. He manages to clean that one up, but he is pretty much one touch from getting knocked out. Marckiemoo knows it. You see him throwing out these down heavies, but he is unarmed. In the offstage, he comes back up, picks up a scythe.
All right. Stingray unarmed, but still continuing to fight back. Spear back in hand. He had it primed.
Oh, Marckiemoo does not want the scythe.
Okay, back on axe. Okay. Oh, Marckiemoo missing the recovery.
Yeah,
there we go.
Into it. Yeah, plenty of damage was put out onto Stingray. Stingray had a good attempt there with that dodge to the side. Tried to catch Marckiemoo with the side air. Just didn't quite connect, but 94 damage on the part of Marckiemoo.
Marckiemoo does have himself in a pretty good position to extend this to a game number 5 against Stingray here. Ooh, the dare's going to connect. Couldn't get Stingray completely off stage, though. Ooh, whiff on the side light. Stingray's going to get a one-piece on it. Ooh,
okay, side
first time we've seen that.
Yeah. He was able to throw that one out. You heard twice where he whiffs a side light, and I believe he's throwing out down signature to try to cover himself. That doesn't really work against scythe because the scythe down air is so good at hitting you from above.
Stingray, though, about has this back even here. Everybody on their final stock. Stingray has been the one in the driver's seat here for the last little bit. Ooh, missing the pogo. Marckiemoo's going to get a good punish off of that. Fadeaway Sair, keeping Marckiemoo at bay. Ooh, I thought he had the side light there. He opted to come back and reline it up. Disarmed. Marckiemoo gets in there, starves the weapon, gets back over to gauntlets. Marckiemoo trying to fish out this win, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's real close to getting this to a game number 5. He has Stingray in that KO percent, 172 damage, means that a neutral light on the right side might be enough, but Stingray with the edge guard doesn't hit the ground pound. One weapon toss, one ground pound, and Marckiemoo forces the game 5.
Oh, that was such a good game for Marckiemoo, digging deep on that one. 594 damage coming off of that Mordex, 438 of it being those gauntlets.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's kind of boiling down to one weapon each of them, because obviously we did see Marckiemoo very actively decide to be on the gauntlets, and on the other side, Stingray, he held the axe for 31% of that one, only put out 71 damage. He was kind of getting clapped when he had the axe.
Like, anytime he had the axe in his hand, it was like he was just trying to keep the distance and just wait on a weapon drop to be able to get it out of his hand. But it all comes down to this. It's almost like the first 4 games don't even matter because whoever wins this is going to be moving on in the winner's side.
Who doesn't love a good old best of one? First one to win this one will continue on into the top 8 of things. And Stingray being very careful not to throw out an attack. The second he does, he eats 33 damage for it.
Every single time. Marckiemoo is shadowing him beautifully. Okay, there we go. We got the spear back in hand. This should happen a little quicker here in this game than last game. We had a hard time getting a hold of the spear to get things going in game number 4. Getting it a little bit earlier should help him out.
Okay, easy punish,
what?
yeah. He was hoping Marckiemoo would move a little too close. Maybe wasn't expecting the range there, but Marckiemoo definitely was comfortable with that.
Okay.
Still pretty even here. Down 6, not going to hit, though. Ooh, wild play on that.
That was. Marckiemoo going to be back over on stage. Okay, the neutral light going to go ahead and connect. Weapon throw. Getting the 1 damage and sending Stingray back a little bit.
Still close. 126 to 143 in the damage department. Both of them getting to that KO percent. Neutral light not going to disarm. That would have been very valuable for Marckiemoo.
Absolutely would have. Stingray kind of helped him out there anyway by walking right into the attack. Marckiemoo holding down the side of the stage, grabbing a cancel D-Light, could not get a follow-up. Is he looking for another one? Can't find it. Stingray has that axe back in hand, see if he can finally do something with it on the first stock, but no, Marckiemoo is going to send him up to the stratosphere, confirm the stock, and take this lead in game number 5.
But you can see a little bit of nerves there on Marckiemoo's side. He wasn't able to hit that gravity cancel downlight into the recovery, the true combo that I'm pretty sure he's proficient at, but right now wants to get that extra credit, 13 damage. Side air, things are staying pretty even.
Absolutely even, only 13 damage difference between Stingray and Marckiemoo here. It's almost like a battle of, you know, the old gen and the new gen here, just kind of going to war here in game number 5.
Well, our old man Stingray here.
Old man is
trying to do it for me. I know, he's like 23 or something, or not even. Down nice side air.
He's so
What's his guard?
Yep. He's so good at threading those downlights in right there on the edge, picking it up at the very edge of the hitbox. Yeah. Well done. We've seen him do that quite a few times.
That's something you got to respect about those corners is Marckiemoo will reach out there with that downlight. Not something that too many Gauntlet players will do. Okay, I like the weapon toss. Keep the pressure. Wasn't able to get a follow-up there, just read wrong after that sidelight.
Stingray is in a bad situation, though, as every hit he takes from this Mordex is closer to elimination side. He's got to confirm this knockout on Marckiemoo, and he needs to do it very quickly. Marckiemoo staying up there with the nair, gets punished a little bit for it. Ooh, that downlight again. Couldn't get a whole lot after it, though. Stingray just throwing the down sig out.
Yeah, just trying to, hoping that he'll catch Marckiemoo. Goes for a second, you didn't need it. He had plenty of damage, but Stingray not gonna go for the recovery, and that is it. Marckiemoo able to win it out in game number 5. He's gonna continue on.
He absolutely is, but you know, so is Stingray. He is gonna be moving on.